Hey guys, in this section, I want to talk about more cool stuff that we can do with if statements. So, yeah, I'll make a program that will ask for user input, and then it basically asks you a question, and then you will answer that question. And if it's correct, it's going to increase your score from 12 to 13. And then if your answer is not correct, it's going to remain it is going to remain 12. So, I hope that's not difficult to understand. Pretty straightforward. So here I have a scanner, console.new scanner. There's a scanner object, and what I have to do next is ask for a prompt is to ask for the person's answer, right? And I need to have a prompt here. My bad. Need to have a prompt that says, or like that asks a certain question. So I'm gonna ask who created Java, just like that. And here I have the actual input, and down here I will have a variable called score, and I'm going to set it equal to 0. And then next what I'm going to do is have an if statement that will check if answer is equal to the particular answer that I want to ask, like James Gosling. So he's the guy who created Java. And here I'm going to have my code in case this is correct. But what you see here, you see an error. It says string values are compared using this double equal to sign instead of the dot equals method. So there's a method that we can use called dot equals that will work better with strings. So instead of comparing it with that, we have to use this for strings, and then we wrap it around those parentheses. So I'm going to remove this and show you like in depth. So what we have here is the string, and then inside that string we can invoke the dot equals method, this dot equals method, and then you need to have this open and close parentheses, and then inside them you can add whatever you want to check if it's equal to. So I'm going to say James Gosling, just like that, and then that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna just gonna compare if it's equal. That's just it. And then in here, I'm going to increment score. Well, not score is not gonna be equal to 0. The starting value should be 12 or any value. So I'm just using 12. So let's say you've been doing your quiz or test and your score was 12 so far, and this was like your last question. So if this is correct, then I'm gonna say correct. And then down here, I'm going to increment score. Remember how we increment? We say plus plus, or we can say score plus equals to 1, or we can say score is equal to score. My bad. Score plus 1. Just like that. So I'm going to leave it as score plus plus, and then I'm going to write a message that says your final score is score. So that will return your final score is whatever it is when it gets incremented. It's gonna be incremented to 13, and then that's gonna be your final score. And then here I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna say your answer is incorrect. And then down here I'm not gonna increment. Instead, what I'm gonna do is say your final score is score. So here we don't increment anything, so the score will just remain score. I'm just gonna say final score. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it back to final score is 12. I want to remove this comment here. And what's happening here? Common parts can be extracted from if. Okay, never mind. So who created Java? James Gosling. correct, your final score is 13. So it gets incremented because my answer is correct. Now, if I add something incorrect there, instead of James Gosling, I add whatever. It's going to keep my score as 12 because I didn't get the answer correct. And then who created Java? I just want to show you something else with this dot equals method. If I type in James Gosling, but with small letters instead of capital letters where I need them, like instead of inserting capital letters there and there, I can, like, I use small letters. So I want to show you what's going to happen. Your answer is incorrect and your final score is 12. So it wants you to type in as capital letters. We can use another method to make it ignore the case. So whatever your case is, it is correct as long as it's spelled the same way. So is this equals ignore case. Dot equals ignore case. That will do the trick. And I'm going to show you the demonstration again. James Gosling. And the answer is correct. And my final score is now 13. So here I'm getting some sort of exception. Not an exception, actually. I'm getting some sort of warning. So I want to check that out. Extract common parts from if. Okay. So I had this statement inside this else block, but I didn't need to have it there. I could have just added it outside and it would do the exact same thing. So IntelliJ shows you ways of coding in a much more professional way, a better way you can do stuff. So that's another thing. That's another reason I like IntelliJ. But anyway, that's your video for today, and I hope you like it. Leave a like and subscribe and tell your friends about it.